And a quick round of introduction from me. And I'm Prabhu, part of pre-sales team. And I do have Srini, who is part of the pre-sales team. We both will present these 4 topics today.
See, normally a solution comes only when we face some problems. So if you see, in any bigger organization, these are some of the problems that are faced in an organization where there are multiple processes running across the enterprises and where the delay in decisions arises due to bottlenecks in the processes. And this creates inefficiency over the process, and any deviation goes unnoticed because the deviations could be in any of the areas where do you have the sales, purchasing, accounting, and other departments. So in order to address these gaps or these weaknesses in the process, Celonis has come up with a solution, the user-friendly solution, which caters to these needs and addresses these problems and provides a graphical view of the overall processes happening at the back end. And thereby you can interpret what is happening actually in the system and where you can identify the weaknesses in the system and accordingly address those areas. So on a high-level architecture, Celonis is actually getting popular. It has been built over for 2.5 years now, and it's a new product in the market. So it is getting popular because it is running on SAP. It leverages the SAP in-memory capacity of SAP HANA. If you see in the architecture on a high level, the source systems could be anything like ERP, like CRM, or any system could be. So what it does, it has an inbuilt algorithm for process mining. Process mining itself is getting deeper into anything. So they use algorithms for capturing all those information from the IT systems across the enterprises. So what they do, they capture the user logs from the system and then take those data for analysis and accordingly process those data for giving a graphical view where you can see what process have been running and if there is any delay or if there is any weakness in the process or if there is any deviation in the process. So accordingly those things can be addressed by the organization. So it's a process mining solution. It takes care of all the processes across the systems, and we don't have to take care of the integration with the systems because it is automatically being taken care, and it provides graphical views for the users, and it is flexible for the users. They can use their own variants to see where the weaknesses are there, or they can define their own KPIs, and they can do a continuous real-time surveillance of the process. So this helps the users to actually arrive at a process improvement measures in real time. So these are the business benefits that one can get after implementing Celonis. See, all the time you will have the real-time surveillance of business transactions happening at the system, and also it is automatically integrated with your systems in the landscape. So it provides the full transparency of all business processes where the organization will have the process in a graphical view. They can interpret the process on different variants, like whether the process, there is any delay in the process or there is any financial impact on the process. So those things can be addressed. And accordingly, the unknown weakness in the system can be identified, and accordingly, rectification measures can be taken. So these are the business benefits on a high level after implementing Celonis system. And use cases. Some of the use cases which best suit for implementing Celonis are some processes which involve different heterogeneous IT systems in the landscape, which have different processes. It can cater to any 50 systems also running in enterprises. So we can keep track of what is actually happening in the system, in different systems, and accordingly take improvement measures to address any inefficient process and rectify them. So for example, you would have seen a scenario where we have placed a purchase order, but we have not received goods. There may be delay in this, but it goes unnoticed for a different reason. So those things can be addressed by how many days it has been delayed, what improvement measures can be taken. So these are some scenarios, some use cases for implementing Celonis. And this is a quick video on Celonis. Process mining, which is briefly explained.
In every large company, many processes are running at any point in time. Today, they are managed with the help of IT systems, and every process leaves its digital footprints within the system. Vast quantities of data accumulate, big data. Celonis analyzes this data in real time. What can we learn from the data? Corporate processes are complex, and it is very difficult to obtain transparency. Errors are overlooked. This leads to inefficiencies in purchasing, loops in logistics, bottlenecks in production, and financial fraud. Time is wasted. Process costs skyrocket. Quality suffers. And ultimately, your customers will be unhappy. The Celonis process mining technology gathers all process trails together in real time and visualizes them in the blink of an eye. Deviations from the optimal process, bottlenecks and other process obstacles can be recognized at a glance. Understand the most frequent process flows and learn where your process performance suffers. Get a completely new perspective and stay one step ahead of the competition. With Celonis.
And that's all about Celonis. And now I will move to the next topic, SAP OpenText. So SAP OpenText was a broader topic that was given to me. I thought of covering at least an overview of the solutions offered under SAP OpenText. So that too relevant to the content management. So it's only about an overview. I'm not getting into deeper into any of the solution. So some of the business problems faced by any organization, you can see like processing of unstructured data, because there is a stat given over there. If you see, unstructured data is growing year by year by 80% per year. So this goes, the organization finds it really very difficult to manage unstructured data. So normally you would have seen there is a solution from SAP DM, the SAP DMS, document management system, which caters to document management as well as record management to some extent. But that too caters only for the structured contents. But in order to address these unstructured data, how to organize, how to store it, and how to archive them, so really this OpenText comes into picture. So actually, it also addresses the high cost involving in managing and storing, and also in retrieval in proper form. So if you see, SAP solution for enterprise information management covers all these areas, and particularly which I have highlighted in green, these are being addressed by OpenText enterprise content management and information lifecycle and content management. So similar product in SAP is NetWeaver ALM, like NetWeaver information lifecycle management, content management, you have DMS, records management, those things. If you come to SAP OpenText, these are the solutions offered by OpenText only for the content management. See, I'm giving in the next few slides, I'm giving an overview of what is what. So content management covers these solutions like extended ECM, where we want to manage the structured as well as unstructured documents which are related to the process running in an organization. So document presentment, by this allows you to dynamically fetch any document that are stored in a repository at no time, and document access. You can view the document from a single screen without getting into different screens or different logins from the same SAP GUI that you are working on. So invoice management. So it takes care of the complete invoice process management in SAP system, where you get the invoice, you either in a scan format or PDF document, or any format, how do you store it and how do you retrieve it whenever you get into the process. So extended ECM, as I said, it caters to both the structured and unstructured documents handling, and these are the process that overall is covered by this suite. It captures, collaborates, and there is a content-centric workflow which caters to the needs of approvals, rejections, and content access, document management, record management. So these are the overall suite, solution offered by this extended ECM. Document presentment. Document presentment is about dynamically accessing your documents which are related to the process, like sales process or PO, whatever documents, whichever we are working on a system, you can dynamically access those documents as and when you work without going to a different system for getting the data, getting the documents. This is another thing, document access by OpenText. This includes archiving. Archiving is a big task where you need to methodically store the documents, and also in future you need to retrieve the documents whenever you need. So this is being addressed by SAP OpenText from the solution SAP Document Access. So this takes care of your entire document archival as well as retrieval of documents. Invoice management, if you see the complete process, your SAP invoice management is involved in this, like from the receipt of invoice, then transformation, recognition, or invoice verification. You can see the scanning also, OCR and validation. It supports OCR scanning as well as validation of the data, and then collaborate the contents. You can store, you can approve, you can involve the workflow also for approval of this invoice and then later payment. So the complete cycle is SAP Invoice Management OpenText is supported. You can automate your complete invoice management process with this. SAP Archiving by OpenText. Again, I have talked about this. So where you get documents in different unstructured format like PDF, Excel, or any other formats, and you start processing them at your desktop. You convert them into electronic format and store it, and later retrieve it and print it. So this is the overall process in archiving and retrieval. So these are the business benefits. So reduce cost. Paper, when you shift from the paperwork to the electronic format, normally we will have a reduction on the overall administrative cost, and also it will increase your productivity because you will have the access to contents from a single GUI from where you are working on. You don't have to log into different systems for accessing documents. And it also reduces the risk because it caters the Department of Defense certification, which is a mandatory for all unstructured contents. So that is also being taken care by OpenText, and it connects people, process, workflow approval, and other things. So it gives you a greater experience for the customers, and because it is seamlessly integrated with your SAP ERP. Next. So here is a quick case, use case for ECM, which caters to the enterprise account management. Enterprise asset management in a system.
Should I click?
The reason for an asset failure, to help you manage your organization's assets. find the source of an asset failure. Connie Harris is the plant operator for a water clarification plant that uses SAP Extended ECM. She receives notification of a pump failure, so she logs in to the application. She starts by choosing the functional location for an overview of the plant-related information. She can use the hierarchical structure of information to browse for specific documents and data about the plant, including all the content related to the pump station. Connie drills down to learn more about the electric pump that isn't working properly. She can access data about the various parts of the electric pump in question. She can see that the functional location of the pump is Clarification Plant 1. Connie navigates to the business workspace for Clarification Plant 1. Here, she can access acceptance documents, maintenance notifications, and documentation such as drawings, functional locations, inspection reports, pictures, and so on. Technical documentation on the data management system can also be accessed here. The hierarchy of the folder structure reflects the plant structure, so Connie gets a comprehensive view of assets at the facility. For example, in the biological cleaning folder, she can drill down to find the plant inspection report. Based on everything she has seen, Connie decides to ask the reliability engineer at the plant to look into the matter. Determine and document the reason for an asset failure. Tony Blake is the reliability engineer assigned to look into the root cause analysis of the pump failure. He logs in to the web interface for SAP Extended ECM to investigate and provide his recommendations. Tony browses to find the equipment workspace for the pump. Here, he can access the data he needs, including drawings, inspection reports, and manuals, as well as related maintenance notifications. Tony also sees the maintenance work order assigned to him for the equipment failure analysis. He opens the workspace that is connected to the work order. Here, he can find all the documentation related to the pump failure. He can see the names of the people who are working on this project. And he can access the inspection report, as well as a drawing and photo of the pump. Once he's conducted his evaluation, Tony navigates back to the equipment workspace. He opens the recommendations folder and creates his report based on a document template that's provided. Tony also links his recommendations directly to the record for this equipment to make it easily accessible for plant operators like Connie. As you have seen, SAP Extended Enterprise Content Management by OpenText allows you to find the source of an asset failure and determine and document the reason for an asset failure. The software helps you access historical analyses of equipment failure quickly and accurately. Better control operations by analyzing equipment data over time to predict outcomes and develop improvement plans. Improve reliability and reduce maintenance outages with better collection, storage, and retrieval of plant maintenance content. And reduce regulatory and legal risk by integrating complete equipment failure histories.
Thanks, everyone. And over to Prabhu for next session on DBM and what is the other topic? RIB.
Yes, please. So we had a plan of doing the sessions for the 40 minutes and the last 5 minutes for questions, but definitely we'll take this question.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Srini, I have a question.
Yes, Silva.
Maybe two questions. Why should we go and pitch OpenText compared to DMS solution? One. Yes. And what are the advantages of OpenText compared to SAP DMS? And what is the price range for OpenText solutions compared to DMS? You know, do you have any insights?
Price, I need to check and get back, Selva. But
advantages of OpenText.
But when you go for DMS, as I said, it is an internal SAP product, and it caters to most of the structured contents. It handles most of the structured contents, which is generated within the SAP processes. But when you go for OpenText, it can handle unstructured documents efficiently when compared to the DMS solutions. And also, SAP OpenText has different solutions which match the requirements of the organization. Like for if document access or document store, archival and retrieval, so those processes are being addressed by separate solution component by OpenText.
The reason is, we have to give a convincing reason to the customer to go and invest on OpenText, whereas, SAP DMS would be a easy, convincing aspect for the customer. That's why I was asking that question.
Okay.
So, to start DBM, before that, I could really see some blank faces because it was a technical subject. Definitely it is going to be in the case of DBM, the RAB as well. So I wanted to make it a little bit informal, so going agile way. So the slides are there, which will convey you the formal information, but definitely I just want to give you an information that everybody could get an understanding. This is especially to excite you about this solution, and then if you are really interested, yes, please go on, explore it, understand yourself, and then build your competency on that. So that will be my personal objective with this presentation. I'll start with DBM, where I think most of us would have known about this product because we have done an implementation in Mahasalat. Yes, we have done a good implementation. So here, I'll start with a pain area because the agenda that we have captured the slides are with the pain area and the solution for it to give you an idea what is the solution and the use case or a case study that what we have done and what could be done, and then a video clip of the solution. So that is the agenda that I'm going to cover. To start with the pain area, this solution is basically designed for addressing a purpose. That is, when a product, that is a vehicle, a life cycle, how it could be managed. When a product is out from a OEM, it has different parties in between when it reaches the store or a dealer. So how this data between all the dealers can be consolidated and managed is something essential, and that is the pain area where the solution is addressing. And there were few more written here saying that how a large purchase, that is a bulk purchase or a bulk sale, how it could be done. So this is one area where there was a pain area where people used to raise a purchase order individually for each purchase, where you can group now. Where there is a multi-brand, for an example, you have Ford, Skoda, or you have Maruti, you want to put it together in a single purchase and then import it or something like that, yes, this solution helps you. These are the pain areas that it is going to address because it also helps you to improve the efficiency and streamline the process between the third parties, which is there in between. I mean the different parties in between throughout the vehicle life cycle. So these are the challenges. And so some of the challenges, again, I have written for your information. Okay. So I have already conveyed this while I told you about the different issues, how the solution addresses those pain areas. That is, it makes the faster turn over. Or what it means actually. When a dealer has a request from a customer saying, I need a vehicle of this much, this, and the information is being captured, and according to the demand, how the planning happens from the other end. Whether the planning is optimized and whether they achieve the demand with a reduced cost is something, the benefit that we can expect from this solution, and this solution provides that. You can see the connection. Before it was working in silos. With DBM, this can be integrated together and the information is visible. That is transparent to people who decide this so that the optimal workflow happens. So there is the benefit of using a DBM solution. It's at the high level. So this is an architecture. I know a few of you will be boring to see this architecture, but formally I have to have this. Yes, it is a well-integrated solution with the SAP ERP. You can see the different modules in SAP ERP well integrated with it. And there is one process steps of DBM mentioned on the top, how it starts actually. When you search for a service part of a vehicle, how does the search happen? Because there are so many variants that you need to go for a search and identify exactly where is this part available so that you procure it and then you give it to the customer. So this is some of the steps that will be there in DBM. So to give you an understanding. So these are some of the functional benefits. And the functional benefits, some of the functional consultants can take that when there is a need to make a bulk purchase or a bulk sale, yes, definitely DBM comes in place there to help them. And it makes the automatic pricing calculations. And you can really understand the vehicle life cycle history from the output of the OEM till where it is and how many times it's been serviced and what parts it needs and what is being replaced. And many of the information can be captured here. And definitely it is a good foundation to the CRM as well. So for CRM, it can utilize a lot of information from here. So those are some of the functional benefits, and much more are listed over here. So the benefits to customer, what we can say that you can get benefited out of using DBM is the faster turnover through better visibility. You can know what happens and which dealer has what and how I can meet the customer supply, the demand, and how do they make the supply on time. So these are some of the benefits that we can put it in front of the customer. Basically, I would say the time to market is something we reduce here. So we reach the market as planned or well before that. Because of it, the lead to payment is decreased. So this is the benefit that we could give to a customer, which we can talk about. Maybe the sales guys can have this as one of their proposition. So this is the case study of Mahasalat, where we have done an implementation, where the sales and services process were been working independently. That was the main pain area, and where this solution has facilitated the customer to bring everything together and in a unified solution. So that is the benefit that we have given back to them is 360-degree view of a customer vehicle information. So that helped them to improve the customer satisfaction. So that is essential for each and every service provider, for Mahasalat as well. So this is the case study that's been prepared for Mahasalat. We'll go on to a video clipping to show how the solution is getting transformed. The solutioning which we have seen is all about the information of 8.0 of DBM. And in future, this solution will be consumed from big data. The automotive sector of SAP is changing. And how do they change is something I would like to show to you.
Today's rapidly transforming automotive industry faces as many opportunities as it does challenges. Geopolitical and demographic changes, sustainability, responsive supply networks, shortened development cycles, and evolving customer demand. To take advantage of these opportunities, automotive companies need real-time insight and collaboration to accelerate innovation, manufacture efficiently, profitably, and sustainably, and deliver a delightful buying and ownership experience. SAP HANA can process large volumes of data from internal and external sources in real time to derive actionable insights throughout the entire business life cycle. This helps to accurately determine cost, improve quality, and meet regulatory requirements. It can also reduce the time it takes to bring innovative, high-quality vehicles to market. Engineers are now able to visualize large amounts of highly complex data and work collaboratively with shared interactive modeling. Intuitive dashboards also help improve operations efficiency, increase utilization of plant assets, and allow the effective alignment of supply with demand. SAP's cloud technology opens new business opportunities, new ways to interact with customers, enhance loyalty, and optimize revenue from commercial vehicles. It can help to ensure a great ownership experience for passenger cars while delivering on the promise of environmental and urban transportation improvements. Mobile apps from SAP enable every aspect of the automotive business to run faster and more efficiently by giving employees access to critical intelligence anytime, anywhere. SAP has been partnering automotive industries for over 40 years, with our customers manufacturing more than 77,000 automobiles per day. Now you too can benefit from our technological investments and stay ahead of the transforming market.
So this shows that how SAP is looking to transform in the automotive sector, and big data is going to play a big role, and DBM is going to be part of it in this transformation. So any questions that I could take now? If I could answer, definitely. Otherwise, I'll take it and then answer you later. Carriage? See, I need to know about Carriage auto line for that. Definitely, I don't know right now. Maybe I can take this as a question. I will understand what is Carriage auto line, and then I'll get back to you. Okay. Definitely, I'm not a solution expert of DBM. I just understood in a week and then presented it. Definitely, it could be a better question. So I will take it up. I'll come back to you. Yeah.
That will be very useful for these consultants.
Definitely. In regions, we all know that Europe is something mostly on the automotive sector. Especially they can get enabled on this product where we can pitch in definitely these kind of products. In terms of the functional, yes, the functional guys who definitely going to work with a customer on automobile, maybe now they are into automobile sector. For an example, Suhail Ban is there in Oman, where if we are working with them, we can pitch this kind of solution and make them understand how it can help them. So those are the functional areas, I think, which can get addressed.
Prabhu,
yes.
It's in terms of reskilling for people, and what kind of consultants can pick up the DBM and then they can get mastered into DBM? And say, is it an MD, SD consultant or MM consultant can become a DBM, or what kind of people need to be retrained or reskilled?
Yes, absolutely, Srini. I think SD and MM consultant can definitely go through this, and I would say this is going to be the foundation of for CRM consultants as well. So I would suggest that if CRM consultant gets a high-level understanding, at least they can go in deeper. If they get that understanding, definitely it would help them to make a proposition to the customer.
For OpenText, what kind of?
OpenText, definitely DMS consultants are already there who can get themselves transformed to OpenText for sure. And as well, OpenText is something, technology we have to know how it works like. So everybody should go through it and understand. I mean, all functional consultants, irrespective of functions, they have to know how OpenText is going to help them.
Okay, one sec. Srini, I'll answer that question. See, what he was, I think there is a slight miscommunication. I'll also clarify that. The video related more to the OEM side of the business. The positioning is basically from the services side of the business, which is the dealer management. See, OEM side of the business is nothing but more of a manufacturing related stuff. That is similar to any kind of a discrete manufacturing environment from the OEM side. So that is technically from the skills perspective, anybody with respect to discrete or PP, APO, advanced planning can go into that. Now when you come to the services part, which is the after sale, what we call as the automotive aftermarket. That is a term that's normally used. So in that side, what is normally needed is the customer service exposure. So basically, there are people, there are consultants who have skilled with SDCS. So they would fit more into the automotive aftermarket, which is basically from the services perspective and from the spares side. A large part of that architecture, what he showed, basically companies like Swellborn, they make a lot of money from the sale of services and from the sale of spares that go after the selling of a car. Basically, from the selling of a car, these companies don't make any money. They probably go flat there. It is only from the services component and from the sales of the spares that they make a lot of money. So this suite, which is basically the DBM suite, that is more catering to the dealer part. So how the dealers are organized, the financials of the dealership, the inventory of the dealership. From that perspective, anybody from a sales background, customer services background, and from an internal perspective, it is more from the inventory management background. Because there is no manufacturing per se there. It's only about ordering spares, inventory on time, having a reduced inventory level, and also to manage customer expectations. So that is completely from the customer services side. So that is the kind of skills that will be needed for the DBM suite. Typically, yes, some element of maintenance is there. See, maintenance comes in only with respect to the established processes because they have a huge set of equipment that has to be maintained. Because all these equipment that needs to go in for your services of the cars that go in, for that kind of maintenance. So from a maintenance perspective, it is a normal skill. It is not very different from maintenance. It's only from the customer services point and from the spares and those kinds of points, it's slightly different. Otherwise, from a skill perspective, it's almost the same.
Similarly for
OpenText.
OpenText.
OpenText is I don't know, OpenText is a very technical solution. I don't know how many of you know this. OpenText is extremely technical with workflows and those kinds of things. So OpenText basically will fit into any kind of a functional architecture. So it goes very well with the order to cash, for example, sales, or with procure to pay, with procurement, MM, and also PM. So typically anybody with a strong technical orientation who can work with documentation. See, this used to be called in the earlier days, along with SD, we just attach some kind of DMS suite. I don't know, DMS itself was a very thin functionality that used to be part of the ECC layer. It is still available. So it's still available from the sense that if you want to plug in these objects, you can still plug in into the ECC application layer itself. That is an option given to customers. Only you use OpenText only when your documentation needs are so high that you need to keep this separately. So that is clearly positioning. So you don't have to go and position OpenText to a customer that needs to only maintain small amounts of documentation. That's not needed. That can also be done within your ECC application layer stack itself. That's very much possible with the traditional DMS. So where OT comes in is where you need extensive documentation, version management, approval and documentations, where you have to combine along with VEG, for example, the Visual Enterprise Generator that we did for MIC. That is the area where OpenText has to be positioned. But OpenText itself is a very technical solution. So it can be mastered by anybody with a technical background who is very good with workflows and documents and can be attached to any kind of a functional layer within ECC. No, it is the DBM suite is only meant for dealers within the automotive sector. Okay, it is very tailor-made to them, to their processes. Yeah, no, IS Auto is different. IS Auto is from the OEM side. IS Auto is the manufacturing part. It is from the OEM side. DBM is from the dealer side.
Celonis. Can you also tell who can be enabled on Celonis?
Celonis is, again, it's processes. I don't know. Is the session over with Celonis? They did the Celonis.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over. Huh? Okay. Again, it is processes. Did you show a demo on Celonis? There was a demo available in Celonis.
Yeah, there is a demo, but I have not shown that one.
Yeah, the video demo. Okay. See, it's basically process mining. So it is, if you take the example of procurement, for example, which is very easy to understand within the ECC suite, this product basically gets into the process bottlenecks and tries to capture events that are based on processes. See, that is the basis of Celonis. So you can extrapolate that one to any kind of a processes in any ERP suite, not alone within SAP's ERP suite, but also in any other ERP suite, which is basically process driven. You have to remember that every process in typical ERP suites are basically event triggers. So this Celonis basically looks at those event triggers and tries to make a process mapping. So whenever there is a deviation in process mapping, it raises certain alarms. With that, you'll be able to take decisions. So basically, it gives you actionable insights so that you'll be able to make correct decisions if the process is going right or wrong. So again, from that perspective, it is more of a technical one, but I'm not sure how much you can actually customize it from a technical perspective. So from a skill perspective, it is very good if people with a financial background can embrace that. Because basically, this process mining tool serves as a governance metrics. It is for a governance metric. So anybody with the governance background or from financial background, auditing background, if they will be able to embrace this much quickly. Because the positioning of Celonis is basically to the CFO of organizations. You don't go and position Celonis to a procurement guy. You don't do that. You position it to the governance guy, to the audit guy. So from that perspective, if you have an audit or a governance background, it's much more easier to take that solution.
George, I have a question. As you told, we don't position the solution to a procurement guy. But if a procurement guy has to know how he can optimize the process, in a procurement, he can map it and as well as see how the optimization can. So we can also position to a procurement guy, right?
It is possible, yes, but that becomes siloed again because this solution looks much more beyond procurement. So why I said the office of the CFO is because the office of the CFO is more interested in all the business functions. Because governance is then across business functions. So it is not necessary that you have to do it for one particular department pitch. You can do it from an enterprise pitch. So from an enterprise pitch, this solution basically looks at processes across any ERP suite that runs in the background.
Okay. Thanks, George. So the solution can be adopted by any function. It has to be positioned to the higher level, so they get the solution and they can utilize it for different functions.
Correct. It is more of the governance pitch. Celonis is basically a governance pitch. It is an audit pitch. So it is a pitch to the office of the CFO. Correct. That is also because Celonis has benchmarking. With BPM, you don't have benchmarking. You just absorb what is there in your ERP suite and then start reporting on it. Celonis does ideal benchmarking. So it basically tells you that the processes that you are following will lead to a certain result which is not optimal, which can be changed or which can be adapted in some other way. That is not what BPM will tell you. BPM will basically tell you this is what is running, do what you want with it. GRC's process management, so access control is different. Access control is basically again from a governance, but it only restricts access to the entire ERP suite or CRM or whatever. Process control is slightly like this, but it does not do process mining or mapping. It does not do that.
What is the timeline it takes to implement?
Celonis, no, we don't know that. We have not done an implementation yet. But I don't believe that this is going to take anything more. If you look at procurement as one particular silo, I don't believe it will take more than 8 weeks. It should be done somewhere between 8 weeks to 10 weeks. Because these are all SMAC solutions. And today everything is implemented within the 12-week window. So if you want to do something like this, it has to be between 8 to 12 weeks. Because beyond that, it doesn't give any value to the customer.
So we heard the expert speech. Definitely nothing can be expected more than this. We'll go on to the next presentation. That is RIB. I hope some of you would have known what is RIB. So we have done an implementation using RIB as an interface in GCC. So I'm going to talk more about RIB. It is not an SAP software. Definitely it is a different software from SAP. But definitely it can be integrated with SAP and a customer can have benefits many more. I'll start with the same agenda and I'm going to talk about the challenges that it is going to address. Most of the construction companies, this is especially for the construction industry. Earlier we were talking about the automotive industry. It's going to be on the construction industry where mostly they face a problem about the overruns on the project. The project not executed as per the schedule. So it is not as per the timeline. And how do they make it as per the timeline is something, a challenge that each and every construction company is facing. And because of it, the analysis found that it is about 20 to 30% of cost that it is incurring because of this unplanned situation. I mean, it is planned, but it was not executed in a way that they could get it completed with the timeline. So why this problem? When we go a little bit deeper, we understand that the problem is because of the different functions of the construction industry works in a silo. That it means there is a team who does the design part and they work in silo. There is a team who does the estimation or a bidding, they work in a silo, and the project execution team has a different software to work with, and they take the project from there. So the different teams, the connection between them is not as required, and so there is a need for a software which addresses all of this. So this is where RAB comes into play, and RAB has released a new product which is known as I2. It's a solution which we are going to see how it is. So this is what it facilitates. It facilitates to integrate different people in an construction industry organization to get integrated. It means the purchasing team, maybe a project manager, or a designer, an estimator, or a contract manager to work together. So the data is like a big data which is shared between different functions for a single objective to make the project executed within the timeline to make the cost savings. So this is an architecture to show you how a big data will be utilized by different teams and how this repository is going to help them to make several decisions and make the change controls whenever required and to meet the objective which I've told you. Using this solution, what it is going to happen? I mean, the I2 is a BIM model, that is, building information modeling is something which is possible using the RAB solution, where this RAB solution will have a 5-dimensional view of every construction, I mean every project that they do. What is especially the 5D, which is something new to here. Now, we heard about 2D and then a 3D. The 3D is that the 3-dimensional perspective of a building, which you can see in a CAD drawing or many other softwares, there to just blow it and show it to you in the 3-dimensional perspective. But furthermore, you have a lot of information associated with it, and you can do a lot of analysis with it so that you can understand really what you are doing. This is especially with the time. If, for an example, when you do a construction, I mean, when you construct a building, at a period, you want to understand how much being constructed, and you get to know with this 5-dimensional picture. And you get to know what is the resources that you have utilized. The resources are maybe manpower, maybe the materials. So you get to know what is you have utilized, whether you are as per the target or you are lacking behind, and how to improve it, whether you need to add more resources to complete it on time. All this can be monitored, controlled using this software. And this can be well integrated within SAP, and this can work as a engineering construction software which will enable SAP to control the ERP from the information shared from this software. So some of the benefits that we can see, maybe you can move. So some of the benefits are detailed over here. The analysis time will get reduced. These are some of the pointers that we can pitch in when we talk to a customer. What does it mean, the analysis time getting reduced? When the data are at different places, you have to put it together and then see that how it can be analyzed together. So that takes a humongous time. But when the data is available in a single point, then your time is getting less. And as well as this software helps you to create dashboards by its own so that you can do the analysis very quick, and the change orders can be made faster because you know what is the scope defined, captured in the same system, and as well as the changes that is getting in the same software. That variance will give you the change orders, which you can make faster. And then the cost of material is something you can know, because if you complete the project within the timeline, the material cost assumed to be executed as per the plan and not spent more than what has been planned. And the project lifespan can be reduced if possible. We can see the ways to reduce the project lifespan. So these are some of the benefits that we can pitch in when we talk to a customer to help them understand what RAB i2 could provide to them. So this is the case study where we have done an implementation GCC, that is Gulf Consolidated Contractors, where we have utilized RAB, but we have not utilized RAB to its potential, where we have done an interface between SAP and Primavera. And I hope few of you know that Primavera is basically a planning tool where they used to plan and then monitor the project. So the planning is done in Primavera, and the data from it, the schedule from it, was carried to SAP. That medium was, as a middleware, was RAB to get this information and push it to SAP, and as well as RAB utilized to prepare the estimation. And it does the estimation. The baseline is created. The planned cost is created for each and every activity, and then it pushed into SAP. Now, SAP has the planned cost, schedule, everything, and it starts capturing the actuals as the project goes on. So this information, again, can be pulled to develop reports, dashboards, to analyze and see how the project could be executed better and how faster. So this is a case study which has done that, where RAB played a small role, but RAB has much more potential, as I told you, which we can understand furthermore. Video link. There is a 5 minutes video clip where we'll play a few minutes of it to understand what is RAB i2.
The solution. It is the foundation for successful projects. It controls a multitude of tasks and ensures efficiency. These advantages can be transferred to the engineering and construction process industries. Every project is unique, with slender returns, high risks, individual processes, and many stakeholders involved. Diverse information is exchanged in a variety of ways at different times, formats, and places.
So what we are seeing is the
new
three-dimensional
situations yield new challenges.
And under construction.
With made-to-order production, there is no dry run. Everything has to be perfect. Innovative companies have embraced this development. Experts estimate potential savings up to 30% for the engineering and construction industries. A quantum leap. Simulated production processes will revolutionize these industries. They enable optimized planning and more efficient processes. But what has proven itself in other industries cannot be transferred one-to-one to the engineering and construction industries.
New processes require new solutions. RIB-I2 is the integrated software solution for model-orientated planning, engineering, and construction. RIB-I2 is construction process integration. CPI is the link between CAD and ERP systems. Variations in construction and configuration, virtual inspections, quantity generation, cost scenarios, deadlines can be represented, visualized, and appraised immediately in the RIB-I2 model. Clashes between structural elements are identified and eliminated in the planning stage with the assistance of clash detection before they disrupt the process, and most importantly, before they incur costs. RIB-I2 optimizes team collaboration in one solution. RIB-I2 offers resilient, model-based facts for all planning and implementation phases. Quantities, costs, deadlines, simulation, logistics processes. All specialist disciplines access the binding CPI model and exchange information and knowledge directly. All relevant data, information, and knowledge is available to everyone at a glance from the start. RIB-I2 has been developed by RIB together with RIB clients. In this way, a solution has been created by professionals for professionals.
So that's all about RIB. If anybody have questions, we can take it. I think we are running out of time, but thanks for your presence.
Okay, is there any questions?
Definitely the PS consultants, the project systems consultants who deal with the project management, yes, definitely, they can be enabled. Because this is mostly on that region actually. How does the construction happen? How does different parameters being handled? And what information can be brought into SAP? And where we can leverage as much as we could do from RIB is definitely can be understood by a PS consultant, and he can position this as well. I think the PS consultant is the right choice. Yeah, thank you, Sri.
Yeah, thanks.